My friends, welcome to this episode of the Outdoor Gear Review. I hope you all are doing well. I just made it out here to Lone Wolf Mountain. As it stands right now, it is about 7:30. The conditions are absolutely perfect. It's around 45 degrees. But check this out. Later on tonight, rain and storms will be moving in. Because there's a good chance of fireworks later on tonight, nature's fireworks, I figured if we would come out here, have a good dinner, sit around a fire, and do some talking. And we will await the storms. You never know, everyone. We may get nothing, but then again, we may have some impressive storms. We'll just have to wait and see. My plan is to continue setting up camp. We might as well get that done. Just wait until you see this stove. This here is bizarre. Now I should mention, everyone, a lot of the products that I'm using on this trip are products that you all have recommended to me, such as this stove here, such as these lights, this cutlery kit, the sleeping bag, so on and so forth. To start off, let's talk about these lights here. I don't know why I thought they would put out more light than they do. While some people may like this, I believe they're called fairy lights, I thought there was going to be some sort of use to them. Without this headlamp on, as you all can see here, they don't do much of nothing. To the viewer who sent these in, I really do appreciate it. Unfortunately, they're not very bright, and I'm not sure how useful they really are. But if you're after that sort of look, then there you go. Now everyone, we have a ton of light. These lights here, the 3 that I've put around camp, these 2 were sent in by a viewer. And I have to say, these are pretty cool. I like these a lot. I've actually been using these for the last couple of months, and I've been impressed. Rechargeable, inexpensive, the run times last forever. I believe these are used with like filming crews and stuff like that as additional lighting. They work perfectly for campouts just like this. For tonight's setup inside of the 4Runner, I will be sleeping on the Deep Sleep system. This is a mattress system designed for the 4Runner. And trust me folks, this generation of 4Runner needs some help as far as the back goes. And that's because it's not completely flat. Up towards the front, it's higher than the back side. Because of that, you need this 2-piece sleep system. This is awesome. It's well worth the money. On top of the sleep system, I have a Kodiak Canvas 30-degree sleeping bag. Because you all have shown so much interest in this sleep system, I went ahead and I got it in. I got in 2 components, the 30-degree sleeping bag and the inner quilt that can be added to it. Supposedly, the inner quilt can add 30 degrees to this system, taking this down to roughly 0. Is that accurate? Is that true? We will find out together. Not tonight, but soon enough. Now everyone, I want to show you all this weird stove. Just wait until you see this. It is bizarre. Did you all see how that stove opened up? So the stove unfolds and the gas attachment point folds out too. And then you can fold everything back in. I am running an adapter so I can run isobutane, and that's because it's a little bit chilly tonight. This stove is designed to run on butane and also isobutane, and the adapter came with it. Everyone, this is mind-blowingly good. Tonight's dinner is really simple. All I had to do was just heat it up. Pulled pork barbecue, corn, onions, honey cornbread with some hickory smoked barbecue sauce. It is incredible. I made this for dinner last night. I don't cook very often at home, but when I do, it's usually something like this. I tell you what, everyone, this is so good. So easy, so simple, just like this setup here. Let's actually talk about a simple setup like this. One of the reasons why I'm doing this trip, first off, the weather, of course. 2, to hang out with you all. 3, is because I received an email not long ago, and the individual was asking me to basically do a series of camping videos where I was mimicking some other channels, I'm not going to name them, the ones where they have like $20,000 or $30,000 setups, but they wanted me to do it on a budget. I thought about that request for a little while, and then it kind of dawned on me that that's pretty much what I've been doing with all of the setups, the overland setups that I do. They are budget-friendly versions of those crazy expensive trips. The thing is this, even if I had the money to spend on a crazy setup, I still would not spend the money. Those sort of setups, they look good on camera, right? But I can promise you, those people, they're not having fun. For them, it's all about going over the top for you all. Setting up all of that stuff, taking hours to set it up, is no fun. I promise you, if you go out for a trip like that, you're not going to have fun either, because you will spend the entire day setting up your camp instead of pulling in, setting up a few things, and then having fun, enjoying yourself. This here is what you would call real-world camping. It's the type of camping that you would do. When you're heading out into a national forest, you don't see people replicating what you see in those crazy videos. That's because it doesn't make any sense. Nobody would ever do that. Don't get me wrong, those setups are without a doubt very cool, but they're not realistic for 99% of us. For most people, even if they had the money, they wouldn't spend the money on those type of setups. It just doesn't make sense. Something like this does, though. And again, this is what you will see when you head out on a national forest road and so on. There's a YouTube channel that I recommend that you check out. It's called SUV RVing, and it's a guy who lives out west and he just travels around. I like his channel. First off, the adventures that he's doing, they're what everybody can do, real world sort of stuff. At the same time, his camp setup is super minimal, just like mine, real world sort of stuff. The term that I'm looking for is down to earth, or possibly relatable. Relatable for us. He's not out there with a $100,000 vehicle or something like that. He's not setting up $20,000 camp setups. He's going out to have fun, to relax, to adventure. And for myself at least, I appreciate that. At the same time, he seems like a nice guy, very down to earth, not pretentious like so many other YouTube channels. I'm not trying to throw shade at anyone, but there's plenty of channels out there where it's just not relatable content. Setting up a like $5,000 inflatable tent, that does not make sense for most people. You know what I mean? I respect what that guy is doing with his channel, while there's a lot of other channels where I just don't relate to what they're doing, if that makes sense. If I don't relate to it, then it doesn't interest me, you know what I mean? As it stands right now, everyone, it's in the 40s. It's not all that cold, about 43. With the rain that's coming in, that is part of a cold front. So tonight, the cold front's on its way. This is like the first round, so to speak. Over the next couple of days, the temp is going to begin to drop. By Monday, we will have measurable snow on the ground here. They're calling for about 4 inches at this elevation. A little taste of winter before Thanksgiving. That's pretty nice. I'll tell you what, since we're talking about the weather, we best check the radar. Oh yeah, the rain is on its way, that's for sure. My location is right here in this corner, just a little bit off screen. We have roughly an hour before the storms and the rain gets here. Awesome. I can't wait. It's because of the cold front that's coming in that I decided not to bring with me any sort of tent or a tarp or anything like that. Basically, for the next week or so, it's going to be really difficult to get anything to dry. It's supposed to rain tonight, rain tomorrow, rain Sunday. On Monday, cold front with snow. And then who knows what it's going to be after that. Because of that, I didn't want to bring something out here, get it soaking wet, and then have it sit in a bag for who knows how long. I don't have a garage or anything like that, so I have to dry everything out outside. I don't know if I've ever spoken about my house, but my grandfather built it, or I'm sorry, my great-grandfather, he built it in 1943. There's a lot of history in that house, as you can imagine. My great-grandparents lived there. My grandmother was raised there. My dad was raised there. He was raised by his grandparents. Then, of course, Susie and I, we raised our kids in that home. That's awesome. One day, one of the kids will take it, and you never know. Maybe they'll raise their kids there. Probably not. I don't know. Susie and I, we're pretty close in age to our kids. Like, I'm in my 40s, and my kids are in their mid-20s. So, you could do the math on that. Yes, Susie and I, we were kids having kids. Anyways, the point is, the house, super, super small, super modest, right around 1,000 square feet. When it comes to the cutlery that I used, that cool set, that is from Human Gear. A viewer sent me a blue set, and unfortunately, I lost the spoon. It's kind of funny, and actually amazing. But since I started this channel 11 years ago, something like that, I've only lost 2 things. One being the blue spoon from the set that a viewer sent me. The other is a merino wool face mask. It's in my gear room somewhere, and unfortunately, it's going to be inside of a backpack or a sleeping bag or something. It's going to take me some time to find it. But amazingly enough, those are the only 2 items that I've ever lost on this channel. As far as the cutlery set goes, it's pretty good, actually. Now, I will tell you what. I reached out to Human Gear, and I asked them if I could buy just the spoon for my kit. They told me, unfortunately, they do not sell those instruments individually, but they would be happy to send me one for free. That is amazing and appreciated. Anyways, I better get to work and get this packed up real quick. I just noticed, folks, these fairy lights, they're dead already. With these, they have a battery pack that's rechargeable. It was fully charged, and that lasted maybe 2.5 hours, if that. Not very long, that's for sure. Everybody, it just started raining. Everyone, we got everything wrapped up in the nick of time. I'm inside of the 4Runner now. It's pouring the rain outside, as you all can hear. I have the heater going. We have some good ventilation, a CO monitor. Life is good. I'm going to kick back and watch a movie. The new Frankenstein is on Netflix, and I'm going to check that out. I love those old monster movies, so hopefully this will be a good one. Will it? I don't know. We shall see. If I don't see you later on tonight, I will see you all tomorrow morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. How did you sleep? As for myself, I slept great. It rained up until maybe 30 minutes ago. The water's still dripping off of the trees right now. And it's cool. Unfortunately, the thermometer's in the truck, so it would not be accurate, but my guess is 40, something or other, 43 maybe, I don't know. All that I know is that it's cool. Last night was awesome. We didn't have any thunderstorms, but it just rained. Heavy rain. I would say a good ½ inch fell. Everyone, it is coffee time. I need some liquid energy. Oh yeah. Everyone, this tastes like freaking gasoline. This is the strongest coffee yet. Speaking of which, let me do some shout outs real quick. I need to get caught up here. These are long overdue, and this time it's not my fault. I went to the post office a couple of weeks ago, and they gave me one package, but it turns out they had a whole room full of packages. The guy just messed up, so I'm definitely behind here. Peggy, thank you so much for the shirts, the cool wolf light, and so on. You are so greatly appreciated. Thank you not only for everything that you sent to me, but also the stuff that you sent to Susie. You're an amazing person, and I really do appreciate you, and Susie does too. Miss Ann, thank you so much for the coffee. Your instant coffee is actually in that cup right now. Thank you so much. Scott, thank you so much for the Outtask Light case. Brother, that thing is not brown. I don't know what the company's smoking, but yeah, it's not brown. But the case is cool. Thank you so much, buddy. Joel, thank you so much for the coffee from Texas. I cannot wait to try that out. Greg, thank you so much for your friendship. Thank you for being a viewer for such a long time. I do appreciate it. And also, thank you so much for these, what do they call these? The Weekender fire logs, or the something or other, I don't know. These logs burn for 1.5 hours instead of the typical 3 hours. And the company on their website, they have this write-up. It sounds more like a romance novel. It's just ridiculous. But my friend, thank you so much. I feel like I'm someone special now because of this. Also, there was a mystery package at the post office. No names, just some instant coffee. So whoever sent that in, thank you so much. I do appreciate it big time. Last night we had a full moon, everyone. The largest full moon of 2025. When it was coming up over the horizon there, it was incredible. It's kind of funny. The moon is so big and bright that you could see so much right now, even with the lights off. It's a foggy morning. A lot of haze in the sky. We're so high up here that you can actually see the fog down in the valleys below. That's pretty cool. Last week in the morning, I went outside to do something, and I heard someone running a chainsaw, like down the road, on the side of the mountain sort of thing, and I didn't think much about it. I could tell by the sound, though, that it was a good-sized chainsaw, so obviously, somebody was cutting up something big. So I went back inside the house, went to work and all that stuff. Later that evening, around 7 o'clock, and it's dark out, all of a sudden the power goes out. The weather was perfect that day. As soon as the power went out, I just raised my head and I'm like, don't tell me that guy is cutting trees down in the dark. And I go outside, open the door, and I hear that freaking chainsaw running. That guy cut a tree, it fell on the power line, and it knocked out not just my power, not just my neighbor's power. It took the power out for like an entire mountain. Impressive work, guy with the chainsaw. You did good. I know why he was doing it. He wanted to get the job done, but you don't cut up trees in the dark. First off, it's incredibly unsafe. And that's coming from someone who takes more liberties than most people. You know what I mean? Compared to some of my viewers, to mow their yard or to weed eat, they wear like full safety gear. Helmet, the earplugs, safety goggles, orange safety vest. Some people are like that, and that's okay. I'm not gonna wear all of that crap to weed eat. Ever so often, if I'm using a chainsaw, or maybe I'm splitting wood or something, I'll get some messages and emails about like these over-the-top safety precautions that I should be taking. You do you, but I'm not going to put on all of that junk to split a piece of wood. You know what I mean? With that being said, I'm not going to run my chainsaw in the middle of the night, so to each their own. Luckily, our power came back on after maybe an hour, but like the people behind us, they were out for like 4 or 5 hours. Here in a little bit, the sun will be up. Already, we're getting some color to the sky. It's gonna be a nice day. Partly sunny, showers in the afternoon, showers later on tonight. As far as the movie goes, I started it. That was Frankenstein on Netflix. I watched maybe 20 minutes before I fell asleep last night. What I saw looked pretty good. So this might actually be a good monster movie. Universal monsters. You have, let's see, Frankenstein, Dracula, the Wolfman. What else is there? Is the Swamp Thing? No. The Mummy. The Mummy might be part of that. I will definitely watch the rest of it. If you do, let me know your thoughts. Comment down below. Is Frankenstein on Netflix, the new movie, is it any good? Talking about Frankenstein, there is going to be another movie. I believe it's going to go out to the theaters. It is done by Jake Gurglehall. What is that guy's name? Jake Gurgle, whatever. His sister is a director. She's also an actress, and she is directing a Frankenstein movie. I don't believe it's called Frankenstein. It might be something slightly different. Anyways, apparently it is so awful that they've had to go back and reshoot a ton of that movie. It's like a Frankenstein musical, which sounds atrocious. Even though it does have Christian Bale in it, that could be the saving grace. I personally don't like musicals. I don't want to hear anybody sing in my movies. The only exception is Little Shop of Horrors. That's the best musical ever made, and that's the only musical I'm ever gonna watch. That's it. Tell you what, everyone, the fire's almost out, and it is time to get out of here. This was a great trip, a very simple trip. I slept great last night, listening to the rain, some good food. Thank you all so much for joining me on this trip. A trip like this is so simple, and the thing is, you could do this too. And you don't have to have a 4Runner or even a truck to do it. When I'm out in the backcountry on a forest road and I see other campers, more times than not, people are sleeping in tiny little cars. I mean, it's all about the experience. Plus, if there's a will, there's a way. You can make anything work. You could definitely sleep in a vehicle. You just have to figure out how to make it comfortable. Lots of people do it. I have driven across the country how many times and have slept in tiny little vehicles. No excuses. All right, everyone. It's time to pack up. It's time to go home. My friends, thank you all so much for joining me for this trip. I really do appreciate it. If you've had a good time, hit the thumbs up. Oh yeah. Make sure to check out my second YouTube channel, A Quiet Place Adventures. You will find a brand new adventure there every single week, in addition to the adventures here on this channel every single week. Be safe, strength and honor. Bye for now.